Reach your leads anywhere, anytime with GetZot Connector. As a marketer, you're always looking for new and innovative ways to reach your audience. However, with so many devices and social media platforms available, it can be a challenge to connect with your leads and potential customers effectively. This is where GetZot Connector app comes in. With our all-in-one marketing solution, you can engage with your leads on any device and through various channels quickly and easily. Let's take a closer look at how GetZot Connector can help you connect with your customers, improve response rates, and grow your business. GetZot Connector is a full-featured mobile app that connects you with your leads and customers through various channels like phone connect, voicemail drops, SMS, MMS, emails, and Facebook Messenger. This means you can engage with them on any device and through multiple channels, which is essential to effectively reach your audience in today's digital landscape. One of the best things about GetZot Connector is that it allows you to create multi-channel campaigns that are tailored to the specific needs of each subscriber. Your own AI bot to easily craft messages that resonate with your audience and increase response rates. Whether it's using Phone Connect to follow up with a lead, sending a personalized text message or email, or chatting with your customers on Facebook Messenger, GetZot Connector makes it easy to connect with your audience on multiple fronts. GetZot Connector also includes powerful data analysis tools that help you track user engagement, measure how your campaigns are performing, and get insights on what content resonates with your audience. This gives you the valuable data you need to tweak your campaigns so that they're even more effective in the future. Some common questions and objections we hear about GetZot Connector include: Question: Is it easy to use? GetZot Connector is designed with ease of use in mind. Our app is user-friendly and intuitive, and our team is always available to help with any questions you may have. Question: Is GetZot Connector expensive? Our pricing plans are reasonable and flexible, making it easy for businesses of all sizes to use our platform. Question: Do I need any technical skills to use GetZot Connector? Not at all. Our platform is designed to be simple and easy to use, even for those without any technical skills. In today's fast-paced digital world, it's more important than ever to connect with your audience on multiple devices and through multiple channels. With GetZot Connector, you can engage with your leads and customers on any device, whether it's through Phone Connect, voicemail drops, SMS, MMS, emails, or Facebook Messenger. This means you can offer a personalized, tailored experience that resonates with your audience, increasing response rates and help you grow your business. If you haven't already, sign up today and start creating powerful multi-channel campaigns with ease. Reach your leads anywhere, anytime with GetZot Connector. As a marketer, you're always looking for new and innovative ways to reach your audience. However, with so many devices and social media platforms available, it can be a challenge to connect with your leads and potential customers effectively. This is where GetZot Connector app comes in. With our all-in-one marketing solution, you can engage with your leads on any device and through various channels quickly and easily. Let's take a closer look at how GetZot Connector can help you connect with your customers, improve response rates, and grow your business. GetZot Connector is a full-featured mobile app that connects you with your leads and customers through various channels like Phone Connect, voicemail drops, SMS, MMS, emails, and Facebook Messenger. This means you can engage with them on any device and through multiple channels, which is essential to effectively reach your audience in today's digital landscape. One of the best things about GetZot Connector is that it allows you to create multi-channel campaigns that are tailored to the specific needs of each subscriber. Your own AI bot to easily craft messages that resonate with your audience and increase response rates. Whether it's using Phone Connect to follow up with a lead, sending a personalized text message or email, or chatting with your customers on Facebook Messenger, GetZot Connector makes it easy to connect with your audience on multiple fronts. GetZot Connector also includes powerful data analysis tools that help you track user engagement, measure how your campaigns are performing, and get insights on what content resonates with your audience. This gives you the valuable data you need to tweak your campaigns so that they're even more effective in the future. Some common questions and objections we hear about GetZot Connector include: Question: Is it easy to use? GetZot Connector is designed with ease of use in mind. Our app is user-friendly and intuitive, and our team is always available to help with any questions you may have. Question: Is GetZot Connector expensive? Our pricing plans are reasonable and flexible, making it easy for businesses of all sizes to use our platform. Question: Do I need any technical skills to use GetZot Connector? Not at all. Our platform
Kill it, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning in Tampa Bay. Good morning around the world. You are tuned in to the Voice of the People, 99.1 FM, WUJM 99 Jams the Berg, Carafesta Radio. Join us, join us, join us. We have a fantastic show, a fantastic guest, fantastic topics rolling off today. That's 727-637-2416. That's 727-637-2416. Be a part of the discourse. Be a part of the conversation of the baddest, boldest, cleanest, and coldest radio show in the world, in the land, in the universe. That's King Jab, the voice of the people, and King Jab is the voice of the people. What you got for us today, big brother?
Hey man, we go put on the hammer like my dog shot in there, man. Hey bro, I think the two mic thing is for you because I don't like the projection of your voice right now. We might need both of the mics up there, please.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yes, man. How y'all doing this morning, man? It's King Jab. Sorry, we don't have no technical team, so we live on the air with it, man.
Our tech specialist is somewhere setting somebody down.
Hey, my tech specialist, y'all. If y'all don't know, Dream is went back to school and he's learning how to make jewelry, man.
That's it.
And very excited for my young fella because I got a couple people. Wait till y'all see this Voice of the People piece. So this morning we got a special guest, man. Special to me because I don't even know how to like in my era, like back in the days, man, in St. Pete, it was a lot of people that rapped, but it was only a couple spitters. It was like only a couple people that like listen, man, don't go in the booth with that boy. And I think that I was one of them people. And this man right here, Dreese, Mr. Plugged Up ENT himself, was one of them people, man. Hey, don't go in there playing, not with that young man right there, because you go see something. So I got Dreese in here with me, man. We gonna get into a interview. We gonna do a little bit of sports, a quick book of the day, and then I'm gonna open up, man, and let my brother, man. I think he got something on his chest, man, and I want him to get it off, man. I'm gonna see if we can get it out today. So we ain't gonna hold nothing up, man. Let's go ahead and drop the book of the day, bro, and I'm gonna do a quick sports after that.
Yes, sir. All right. So am I coming in loud and clear, King Jam?
Yes, sir. Bring that one down.
All right. Good.
Now bring that one back down.
For you.
Yep.
All right. How's that?
Go give me a direct into that.
All right. Can you?
All right. Go ahead and spit it. I'll fix it.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, man. Listen, we want to definitely thank everyone for allowing us in your cars and your homes or wherever you may be listening to this broadcast. Um, King Jab is the voice of the people, man. And before we get into our book of the day, I just want to tell everybody to please follow our brother, big brother, Anthony Williams on Facebook. Please follow him on Facebook because yesterday, Brother King Jab, who won't say it's for himself, but that's all right because I don't mind being a hype man. Brother King Jab had a fantastic interview. He did a fantastic interview with Brother Imam Jahan Amos Muhammad, and he went in depth about not just his story, but the way he relates to the community and the way he does what he does. In fact, King Donnie, if anybody knows my father, man, my father's a taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
King Donnie said, man, tell King Jab he been holding out on us, man. He ain't gave us everything he got. King Jab said, look, I might have gave you 15, but I might have 17 in the Glock.
Hey, man, what I said, always keep something in the reserve now. Hey, man,
Yes,
got something in there in the reserve, bro.
We definitely appreciate him. Today's book of the day is brought to us again by We Feed the Hungry Incorporated, a perennial sponsor of the Voice of the People, as well as of the entire project for community development and training. See that. We're so thankful to our individuals who underwrite and who sponsor. Today's book of the day is by Noam Chomsky and Marv Waterstone, rather. Noam Chomsky, the dissident, the intellectual, the linguist, the person who really gave us modern linguistics from an American perspective, Professor and Dr. Noam Chomsky, and Marv Waterstone. The book is called The Consequences of Capitalism. It's a fantastic book that goes through a lot of the facets that we get because of the economic system in which we live. Remember, we stated, King Jab, that economics is far more than just business transactions. Economics comes from the Greek root words oikos, which means home, and nomikos, which means management. So economics is every part of our life. It's every part of the way that we manage our home. It's every part of the way that we manage our country. We manage ourselves. We manage everything that relates to us as living entities is economics, and it can be boiled down to economics. Well, the system under which we live, the system of modern capitalism, is a system that imposes power on individuals. Again, individuals do not impose power on the system. The system imposes power on individuals. Well, what is power? Dr. Huey P. Newton said power is the ability to define phenomenon and then make it behave in a desired manner. But definition was first. So Dr. Huey P. Newton, we didn't listen to that definition.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Huey P. Newton was telling us that definition is first. And under this system, individuals are commoditized and they're defined as commodities first. If we look up in the Encyclopedia by Diderot, this is something that was written in the 16th century. If we look up the definition of Negro, it talks about a Negro being a commodity. A Negro is different from an African, which is different from the humanity, because in order to become a product, you have to have a label and a brand and a title. Well, out of that also came race. So race is something that came out of modern capitalism. Before the advent of capitalism on a global scale, race in its modern form did not exist. Why am I saying this, King Jab? Because I'm saying this to spread into a broader conversation that's being had over the nation right now. Now, let me start with this disclaimer and this caveat, right? In the year 2020, I voted for an individual named Gloria La Riva and a man named Leonard Pelletier. Right, Leonard Pelletier was in prison. Right, he was the founder of the Red Feather Society. He was the person at Wounded Knee who was engaged in a firefight with the FBI. They locked him up for fighting for indigenous rights, and he was in prison when I voted for him for president of the United States. This year, 2024, I can't, because on the radio I can't endorse candidates, but I will tell you, I'm voting for Claudia de la Cruz and Corina Ortiz. Those individuals who are running for the Party of Socialism and Liberation, right? So that means I'm not voting for either of the major candidates at all. This is because of not just my political ideology, but because of the way I understand the principles of economics. I'm voting for an Afro-Latina and I'm voting for a Chicana. Now, with that being out of the way, so nobody will say, hey, Donnie, you on one side or the other. when we talk about race, and particularly when they talk about the race of the modern, right now, 100% today, Vice President of the United States, Sister Kamala Harris Emhoff, they attach categories to individuals that don't make sense. So now you have people trying to determine, well, what is black? What is blackness? Oh, she is, or she's not, or she's real, or she's not. If it is biologically inherent, you would never have these questions. Right now, you have white people telling you that a black, quote unquote, a black person is not a black person. And that conversation is ridiculous. But the reason why they can do that is because white people and whiteness defined what blackness was in the 16th century. African people have never had the freedom to define themselves in this particular system. That's one of the consequences of capitalism, is that now you don't know who the hell you are. So when they come to you with identity politics, you're easily preyed upon because you don't know your identity. So you're easy to fall for any kind of politics. Rather asking about issues, rather asking about what causes people to organize and coalesce, the first thing they do is feed in the division of, oh, this person is not a real, quote unquote, real black person. This person is not a real something else. That's one of the consequences of capitalism. And the idea that it's common sense that you should be able to tell that if a person's father is from Jamaica and their mother is from India, then they can claim whatever the hell they want to claim as their particular race, takes you back to a level of ignorance where you don't even know why the island of Jamaica is called Jamaica. King Jab, if we ask our listeners, where does the name Jamaica come from? Then they won't understand that the only true people who are in Jamaica are the indigenous people who named the island Jamaica. But we play with these concepts and we think that these concepts are common sense. But common sense is determined by the economic system. Common sense is not determined by any other value. So be careful when you listen to things like racial denominations, racial distinctions. Study two people who are, King Jab and Brother Dreese, my heroes, Don Harris and Shamala Gopalan Harris.
Okay.
An individual, Don Harris, who's professor emeritus right now at UC Berkeley, who was one of the people who brought in the economic system to help sustain Jamaica after it broke free from its colonial possession, and worked with Michael Manley. When we see Bob Marley on stage and he brings Michael Manley and Edmund Seaga together and they hold hands, Michael Manley was the individual who helped to structure Jamaica when Jamaica had been an exploitative, extractive colony for the British for 300 years. He was given direction by Don Harris. Don Harris, who's a Marxist economist. Now, I've talked about this book, Black Marxism, and I'm going to make this really short. I'm going to wrap this up, y'all, because I'm taking too long. But Black Marxism was written by a man named Cedric J. Robinson. When Cedric J. Robinson was in line waiting to get into a Black Student Association meeting, he met Shamala Gopalan, Kamala Harris's mother, who was one of the people who heavily influenced not just the funding, but the ideology of Huey P. Newton, of Bobby Seale, who was one of the individuals who helped influence Bunchy Carter when Bunchy Carter was out with the what they called, they weren't the Swan, I think they were the Swans, back out in LA. This is before modern gang banging.
Okay.
Right? When Bunchy Carter was there, he went to prison. He got politically educated in prison. Part of that political education comes from the influence of individuals like Gerald Horne, like Cedric Jackson, like Don Harris, and like Shamala Gopalan. So we need to look at these individuals when we look at them. When we look at Vice President Harris, let's look at her ancestry without just saying, well, this person was Indian, they ain't black. This person is from Jamaica, they ain't black. Now, we need to look at the politics because principles are what align people, not race. And that, big brother, is a long way home for our book of the day. I apologize for being so lengthy.
Hey, man, listen. I think if the campaign, okay, my bad. I think if the campaign could put a more of an emphasis on her parents, just like you did, you'd be in a hell of a good better shape right now.
You, bro.
Because you laid that down, man. I appreciate it. I was trying to find the sports, the schedule for the high school football, man. Who y'all play this week, man?
We got a home game this week. I'll be calling the game. I don't remember, King Jab, who it is. I know we played Berkeley Prep last week.
Okay.
But we have a home game this week. I apologize. I'll make sure that I hit you up on Facebook.
Okay, so I'm in the same round, bro. Bogey at home, Lakewood High School at home this week. I think we play Northeast. Lakewood Little League is at home this weekend. St. Pete Little League is playing. They're at home, but I think they're playing at Northeast Field. I heard people talking about that, but like, stop running your mouth, go out and support twice. Double support. If it was an issue, we need to double support so it don't never ever be an issue again. You know what I mean? Stop playing with our children. And I think, man, that's it. Man, I ain't going. That's it on sports, man. That's it. We're wrapping that on up, man. Y'all look at Pinellas High School Media Group over there with Royce them, man. They do a great job and they breaking it down. So I think I might just steal one of their segments.
Royce
man.
Wheeler?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, Russ doing a good job over there, and they doing a great analytical breakdown. And I was watching them, and I'm just so proud of how knowledgeable they are of the players. Like they, you know what I mean? They doing their thing. So it don't make no sense trying to reinvent the wheel, man. I think I might just drop a quick little sports segment from them in here. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
At least they what their predictions for the week. So
King Jab, Shamar Rigby is lighting it up, brother. He lighting it up, man, before the season starts, and Purdue will be rolling in and rocking and rolling. College football starts this weekend.
Shout out. I'm going to see him too.
Yeah, so Neff is killing him, brother. Neff is killing him.
It's three people I want to see this year. Shamar Rigby. I want to see Amari Black at Texas. And I want to see Anthony Collingera at Virginia, man. Because Ant is a sophomore, man. He took that job as a freshman. Calandra, he balling, bro.
He playing quarterback too, right?
Man, Ant balling, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely.
He doing this thing, and I'm so proud of him. So
you gotta be smart, man, because UVA don't pay their athletes.
He got good parents too, man. I've been to his house.
Yeah, UVA don't pay their athletes.
And they was young. He got good parents.
They did a lot to support the team. Yeah, I can't front. They did a lot to support the team, and they was very pivotal while he was there. We got a call coming in, y'all. Let me see what it is, what it do. Hold on, caller.
Hi, hello,
caller.
Jam Radio.
Yes, you're on the air. What you got going on this morning?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to call their business office. Do you have their number?
I won't be giving it to you right now, Auntie. Hey, man, we on. So listen. I got my main man Dreese here this morning. I'm not a great intro guy, man, but I can just say, very, very smart person. When I envision tech, I envision Dreese, like, because if it's something new technical, you go see my brother with it.
Can I bring him in, King Jab?
Man, right.
So much is in the name. You know, Shakespeare asked what is in the name, right? So much is in the name. If you learn the Arabic language, you learn that one of the most important questions that you get, particularly in the Quran, is the question, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ, right? Adrak means how do you give the explanation of, or what study goes into making a thing a thing? Now, from that word adaras is how you get the word Idris. Idris comes from the word adaras, and one of the greatest thinkers in the medieval world was a man named Al-Idrisi. He was from a place called Ceuta, Spain. I've been to Ceuta, right? So it's a gorgeous place right on the coast, but they have a big, when you step off of the ferry coming from Africa from Europe into Africa, you see this huge statue of a man named Al-Idrisi. And the word Idris doesn't just mean to explain, but it means to investigate the truth. It means to come through, use the processes of technology to gain to a final answer. And what you have in this brother, King Jab, your brother, King Jab, the experience that the community has had with this brother is a brother who always seeks to know. More than anything, he always seeks to know, and will use any method to know that. You know so much about a man tell King Jab, we say this all the time, right? That you tell the quality of a man by not who he can attract, but by who he can keep. Right? Because the right man, the men can attract, but every man can't keep what he attracts.
Absolutely.
Right. So you have in this brother, man, not just a beautiful brother with a beautiful family, but a beautiful brother with a beautiful family, man, with a loving relationship of his wife that he's able to give to the world. Who brings together another side of this brother's mind, man. And that's just an amazing, amazing thing. I know that my sister-in-law, Michelle, my sister Michelle, is so glad to have her sister Ray, who is my brother's wife, man. That relationship is such a loving and beautiful and on time relationship. We always laugh, my wife and I say, and we say that Krista is the sister that Michelle got, but Ray is the sister that Michelle wanted, right?
Okay.
But you got to know my wife to know that one, bro. My wife different. But anyway, that's our brother, man, and we're so glad to have him, King Jab, a voice of the people. I'm going to be quiet and let my brother do his thing, but let's bring him on Tampa Bay. Let's bring him on world, man. Our brother has something great to share with us. Our brother, Dreese Abdul Williams.
Thank y'all, man. That was a glorious introduction by both of y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on. I got much respect for both of y'all. Me and Jab go way back in the days when we was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? We both come so far. I'm proud of both of us. Donnie, I met Donnie a while back when we was in the barbershop, and we would have our discussions with Dana in there. And I just saw like minds when we was having our barbershop debates, and I would seek Donnie out for just to bounce ideas off the wall because I could see how much of a scholar he was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever claim to know more than any other man. He described it perfectly. I'm just always seeking truth. I mean, that's my favorite pastime. If people ask me, what do I like to do the most? Find out new information. I'm like I don't know, like I'm real good at Jeopardy because I just got so many miscellaneous facts in my mind and I do it for fun, you know? So, you know, I appreciate all the love, man. And I'm always trying to grow and just go further in life. And I feel like until I die, I never know enough. I'm gonna die not knowing everything I want to know. So I'm just a truth seeker or information gatherer.
I think he just gave me a great idea, man. Y'all look out for Hood Jeopardy coming to a Garbage Stores.
I ain't trying to do that,
hey, man. Like I love that, bro. I love to put some of y'all on there, man. And I'm just gonna host and make and
please. I've been trying to get that idea going for a while.
I
man.
got the facility, bro. All we gotta do is put the toes on the ground. That's real. Thank you for coming, bro. I thank you for your time. As always, man. It's like I feel like I know you, but I feel like I don't because I know so many facets to the man that's in front of me. But I know you. I mean, like I say, I look to you for technology. Like if you watch his page, you're gonna see something you haven't seen, and that's important to me because I know you're ahead of the game, and I need people like that around me. I love people like that around me. And even in the boat, bro, I think you're a little bit daredevil with that boat now because that thing look a little. You be out there flying. You be out there flying on this boat.
No, man, it's light work, man. Honestly, I jumped in the boating like just 5 years ago, not knowing nothing, man. Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing is a product of really just being self-taught, YouTube University, and trial and error. Mm-hmm. The first boat I bought was a little $200 Intex boat that you can get off of Amazon for $200, an inflatable. I bought that, took it to Gulfport, bought me a little trolling motor, electric trolling motor. I was smart enough to figure out that wasn't gonna work in the ocean before I got out there. Mm-hmm. Took that back, got me a 1.5 horsepower Suzuki. I'm so green. I'm at Gulfport Beach. I done tried to launch the boat from the beach. Man, them people came out there with them sirens. Man, what are you doing? You can't launch a boat. I'm like, oh, I ain't.
Hey, man, it's on the rocks. Once it blow all the way up. Yeah, man. You know what I'm talking about? Once it blow all the way up, I'm straight.
I ain't know. So, I went from that, man, and I'm just always seeking information. If I'm interested in something, say if it's simple. Say if I wanted to buy this, right? Which my wife bought me this thing. Shout out to her. But if I want to buy anything, I go on a deep dive study. I imagine myself being like Donnie with everything else besides products. Just super into whatever it is. And I'm gonna look at, okay, what makes this cost this much? Why this the best? Why this one don't cost that much? Then once you start doing the research, you can figure out, oh, this the same thing. It just got a bunch of people make this. And it just, okay. And before I buy stuff, man, and all of this technology that you speak of, man, I spend a lot of time researching myself. Just a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of reading on people. Go on Amazon, I might read 300 reviews. Just, I don't know. I'm just into that type of thing. And that's a lot of, that just goes back to what Donnie was saying. I'm just always seeking information. I don't know. That's really not because I'm trying to be smart, but it's like entertaining to me.
That's what
finding out new information.
I was on the podcast the other morning, and I think they were surprised when I said that I'm really a nerd. And people they was like, nah, but you don't realize, like, even back when in the streets, like, I never thought like other people.
Right. And
it was always, I always, like you said, study. Like, I'm in the street, but I read the newspaper every morning. So I'm assimilating information.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's the same way right now, bro. Like, we steady, like, seek different information because I see what you're doing. Like, I've been down this rabbit hole on building this platform, and we offering AI integration. So I've been in this rabbit hole with this AI for a little minute, but when I come out, I'm like you. Here y'all go. Then I'm gonna get bored and go over here and start doing something else. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's just a product of our brain, man. We strive on challenging ourselves.
Right.
It's a challenge to us that means you might not. Oh, I can't do this now. Don't even worry about it. I got it. You know what I mean? So that's what's up with us. Well, I want to touch on I think I heard you post something along the lines what Rashi was talking about with the Native American and I want to touch on that because he was on the show, great dialogue with him and brother Donnie, but I seen like y'all was saying the same thing, but you were saying it in a lightly different manner, or you was presenting it differently,
right?
And that's a take I wanted to get on that.
Well, me with the Native, no, it's hard to say Native because Native mean different from indigenous. You know,
the words
you can be Native and not be indigenous. And it's true and dear to me. The subject is true and dear to me, and always has been since I was a little boy, and before we had all of the technologies and the supercomputers in our pockets, pretty much. I always knew that my grandmother, she would show me pictures and talk about my grandmother's mother and father, and would just always say, "Hey, yeah, your granddaddy was a Blackfoot Indian, like nothing, like that's what it was. No mix, no, you know what I mean." And I'm speaking in these terms, Blackfoot Indian, and we know Indian where that come from. I don't even know why we still perpetuate that, honestly, because it's supposed to be Christopher Columbus thinking he was in India, so why we still even use that word? But I was always told that, and I would go and see my aunties at family reunions. They got the long traditional 2 braids. They look like Indians to me, minus being lighter, but we did have lighter people in our family. My grandmother's sisters are almost my wife, like my wife complexion. And I would know that. My grandmother would tell me all the time, your great granddaddy was a Blackfoot Indian. Your great grandmother was a Cherokee Indian. So it's always been near and dear to me inside. So I can't trace back my father's roots like I can with my grandmother's, which is often the thing with people, when parents split up, usually the child stays with the mother's side and is more close that way. So it usually works out that way. So I don't know a lot about my father's lineage like that, but I know for a fact that my people were native to this, indigenous to this land, based on just getting from my elders and my grandmother what I am, what we are. So that's always been there to deal with me.
Same thing though, bro.
That's it.
I was told some of the same things. Like that's not a far fetched. Like my grandma used to look in my eyes, say that blue ring around your pupil, you got an Indian in you, boy.
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's
so the
how
same thing.
I truly believe that. Then going later and studying, and I tell you, I started going down a rabbit hole back in 2010. And it started when I was messing with this young lady. This was like 2009 actually. Mm-hmm. And we had been hanging out, and she said, my mom works for Homeland Security, and did you know every president has to kill a baby to become a president? What you talking about? What you talking about?
Well, dang.
What? She said, I'm serious. And she told me to go look up Bohemian Grove.
Okay. I'm familiar.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This 2009, that started me down the rabbit hole.
Which I think when you say Bohemian Grove, I think they exposed Epstein Island to keep the eyeball off of Bohemian Grove, because they both was getting a lot of publicity at the same time, bro.
Well, Bohemian Grove is established in the main media, so it's not really no hiding it. They know exactly where it's at. We know some members. True. They've been confronted on camera. They've so much as just admitted that it's true. I mean, we had male escorts that have been in the New York Times published as being at this place. So that whole thing started me down. Wow, it really opened up my eyes to like the world really ain't what it is. And that just started all of my curiosity and digging deep and digging. And a lot of the stuff that's talked about so readily now and seen in the TikTok videos and the shorts and the reels is a lot of information that I've been talking about for years, and I was looked at as crazy or conspiracy, which is a FBI term. You know that, right?
I was charged with it.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff, conspiracy is nothing but a plan that's unknown to other people. But I don't know why.
Stop right there, brother.
Define a conspiracy, a plan that's unknown to other people. That's until y'all get in there and tell them the plan.
That's it.
Go ahead, Dreese, proceed, bro.
So, it bothers me when people talk like that. But then again, I look at it as everybody doesn't have the same level of discernment and or the imagination to think outside the box. We've all been victimized from the beginning, being taught things in elementary. I mean, the simple thing that I go to all the time in elementary, we were taught the food pyramid, and we need to be drinking milk and bread. Like we grown now, we know that
it was the food groups when we were there. Remember, you called the 4 food groups. Yeah.
And we supposed to been. They was teaching us that was righteous. That was the thing to do.
Eat that rice.
Come to find out, all this stuff was taught because of what you talked about: economics, capitalism, money. These are the reasons we pushing this stuff, and we being taught in school. In elementary, why y'all teaching kids about slavery? Like, right? And then I start tying it all together because I come to my conclusions not by one source, not by 1 year, not by 2 years. I listen to information, I study information, years pass, and information just meets up.
Come right back around the corner.
And it's like, that's all I need. You don't always need to see something. Even seeing ain't believing, by the way. But some things you can just draw a conclusion, and I'm fine with some of the conclusions I've drawn. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And as far as I've been talking to my grandma, and they older, so they not as much on trying to find out the lineage and get the paperwork and stuff. Because like I was saying last night on the podcast, everything comes down to paperwork in court. Legal lease. If your legal lease is not where it needs to be, you're not going to get nothing done. It's either that or bloodshed, right? The French Revolution, right? It's either you're going to hold court or we just going to go to war and whoever come out. So I'm of the belief that, just looking at everything, it would seem cool. And I know a lot of people are proud to say that they're Black, whatever. But like Donnie said, that didn't always exist. You know, that was something that came later. And when you look at it, to me, nobody is black or white.
You know, Brother Idris, very interesting that you said that. And I apologize, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
But what people don't understand is that there were no black people who were trafficked from Africa.
That's
Zero. Because blackness is a thing that was attached to African people when they came to the New World.
Right.
But there were no black, they had no understanding of themselves as black people. First things first, everyone physically looked like everybody else.
Right.
To a degree.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, and I bought this book, Black Society in Spanish Florida. There's another book by Michael Gomez called Known by Our Country Marks. If you notice the scarification that was done,
that's how you know where you're from.
That's how you know where you were from. So
Right.
these people didn't have this modern concept of race that they have now. So when individuals say things like black people sold black people into slavery, that's a lie. There were no black people.
Right. The color of law.
That's a lie. It's interesting that you mentioned color of law, authority masquerading as if it has authority when it actually has no authority whatsoever. Right. So
it created classes. From what
definitely.
I was, when I was doing my dives, it was just creating.
Oh, sorry about that, bro.
It was just creating classes amongst people, and I know it's hard to say that to people who are proud to be black and I'm black and I don't know about the rest of that. I'm black. It's hard to talk to them about that, but I don't consider myself black. You know what I mean? I consider myself an American.
That's real. Hey, man,
not native,
American.
My people from here, my ancestors from here, because we talk about a lot of these things, and when people talk about race, they talk about recent history, like Donnie said, because race, that type of race, the way we talk about it, is recent history. That's not stuff that was from the beginning.
Okay.
So when I look at I don't want to consider myself black. I say I'm an indigenous American, and now it's getting deeper. You say Tamaria, right? Tamaria. So when you know that in the Grand Canyon there's a Sphinx and a pyramid bigger than the one that's at Giza, and there's more pyramids on this landmass than it is over there, well, it start making you think, I mean, we've been misled by many things, simple things like bread and cheese, and that's good for you. If we can be misled by that, right? How much have we been misled by? How much is opposite of what we've been told? And I'm just of that mind, because power, I also try to put myself in other people's position. The people that run the world right now are the same people that ran the world centuries ago. The Medicis, I don't know pardon me if I'm saying that wrong.
No, Medici,
the Medicis, these world bankers, 16th, 15th century, people ain't die.
Those are the Rothschilds. The Rothschild family backed by the Medicis, right?
Okay.
The Medici was the muscle. The Rothschild was the purse, pocketbook.
Them people ain't died. Them people still here. So power is power. Power transcends money. Power controls markets. Power controls water sources, food sources, energy. That's real power. Everything else, what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And the people that control water, food sources, energy, simply they control the world, man.
That's it.
It's simple. And and I hate to go there because that's part of what I want to get off my chest. The electoral process to me, right? Locally, I support it.
100%.
Right? Certain things you can get done more, right? The electoral process as far as the president, to me, and I'm not on my own. I forget the brother's name. I meant to look it up before I came on here. He was on the Breakfast Club. He's a well-renowned brother. He was the head of, I can't say his name. I know you know who I'm talking about, but I can't say his name.
Just keep going. I'll probably catch him.
But he basically said what I thought, and he's well respected in these realm, right? Because the way I'm looking at it as, and just so everybody know, I'm not on one side or another either. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I just feel like the biggest thing that the electoral process does is gives the people a illusion that they have a say-so, right? Which I talk down on it, but I also praise it, because if people truly knew that they had no say-so in the grand scheme of things, it would be anarchy. It would be chaos. If you really know what you think don't matter, and these people that run the world gonna do what they want to do, and you ain't got no say-so, a lot of people can't handle that.
So the January 6th rioters, imagine how they go act up if they found out, oh, it didn't even matter.
Yeah, it don't matter if Trump get in there. It don't matter.
Acted a dog. They wouldn't even took it to the riot. They just took it right to the hood.
Even to his supporters and his base, it don't matter to y'all either.
Yeah,
because he's man. I mean, Kennedy showed you that.
Yeah. Do you know
what happened when somebody wanted to do what they wanted to do? When Kennedy went to talking about, oh, we gonna get rid of these secret societies, and we gonna do that was for the people. Try to be for the people if you want, bro.
Took it off. Took his whole top off.
Cornelius Vanderbilt, who was one of the quote unquote fathers of modern industry in his railroad procuring in the 19th century, said, "I can hire half the working class to kill the other half."
That's it. That's it.
Hey, they just did that with the raise bonus.
Come on.
That's real.
He said, "I can hire half the working class to kill the other half."
We showed you that in recent history with COVID. You see, classes were created. Vaccinated, unvaccinated.
Not like the new Crips and Bloods, boy.
And it was so deep, your mama, grandmama might tell you can't come to my house if you ain't got no shot, right?
Yeah, that's real now.
Now look how deep that is. We think about Nazi Germany. It was a similar thing. Hitler made all them people feel like, look, the Jews are the reason why we can't get our stuff together. They y'all biggest enemy. They the problem. They the reason y'all can't be free. We can't get stuff, right? I ain't getting deep into that, but what I'm saying is that's what they made the American people think. Oh, we can't go back to work. We can't open our schools. We can't open our stores. The people that are not taking this, I don't want to say the word, the people who are not taking what we telling them to take are the reason why we can't get back to regular life. They're the enemy, to the point where most of them people would have been like, if they start rounding up people who didn't take that procedure, your people wouldn't have cared. Oh, guess what they would probably say? Oh, well, you should just take it.
It was a big social experiment.
Right. Just take it. That's what your people would have probably told you. Just take it. You going through all that. Why you finna go to the camp? Just take it.
And unfortunately, King Jab and Brother Idris, this is a common idea of what's called threshold concept. Threshold concept in education, in pedagogy, is a concept where if enough individuals do something, then it actually becomes the thing to do.
Right.
But it has to reach a certain threshold so that other individuals can act. Have we ever seen mob mentality? You might have people who don't necessarily want to get involved, but if they see enough people get involved in it, and that threshold is breached, then those individuals will attach on. You a spot 100% on. When it wasn't the Jews, it was the communists. Hitler said the exact same thing. Well, we have to push back against the communists because they are this, that, and the third. You're 100% right, bro.
Right. And that's how it works. And the thing that's deep along the lines of piggyback what Donnie is saying, he said the term, say that
threshold,
right? Human psychology is a scientific thing. And the people that run the world know all of the science when it comes to dealing with people in psychology and how to control the masses. Because you must remember, there are people in this world that control the masses. In fact, this is not conjecture. This is not a theory. This is real. Because when you look at simple things like when you look at how our country is funded, it's not funded by nothing that's federal. The Federal Reserve isn't federal. This is a bank from a family.
Private, mind you, a private bank.
Right.
To this day, it's a private bank. Yeah.
Just think about that.
Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's a very, very, very good book. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. It talks about the creation of the Federal Reserve, U.S. Federal Reserve.
Bro, that's a scary, deep thing. Bro. that a whole country is in debt to a family, right? Or at least stuff has to run through them. So that shows you, to me, that's a great example of why whoever's elected, and I asked him last night, is the president of Apple, do he own Apple?
No.
Just because he's the president, he gonna make the decisions.
And he can be fired at any time.
Yeah, he gonna make the decisions. He gonna say, what y'all talking about, I'm gonna just do what I want. No, that ain't how it works. The president to me is a fall guy. Local people that are around, you got a better situation there, local, city, state, to me. As far as the president thing, to me, the main reason for the presidency and all of that is to show America that, hey, you have a choice, you have freedom, you can choose, but it's all illusion to me. But I'm happy we got the illusion. Again, I'm torn with it because without it, man, I don't know how stable, and we've saw situations in other countries, both past and present, of people feeling like they have no choice and somebody dictating over them.
I got a question for you, Brother Dreese. We got a time for
run it, bro. We got 12 minutes.
So, Brother Dreese, one of the things that makes Zionism such an insidious form of settler colonialism is that you have individuals who are masquerading as people who are indigenous to a land, but are not actually indigenous to that land. Because we watch them on camera move from Ukraine, move from Kazakhstan, move from the Russian Republic, and move into the place that they call Israel, and displace the indigenous people. They're the people who we call Palestinians from the fall of the Bronze Age when they were called Peliset. My thing is this, Brother Dreese. I know for a definitive empirical fact that I'm an African man. I know that DNA test, right? So it can go on Maury. But I believe that the Americas, both continents, should be the rightful possession of the indigenous Americans. And as an African who has had my continent settled by illegal settler colonialism since 1885 and before, it's my job to fight on behalf of indigenous Americans so that they can have America. America for the indigenous Americans and Africa for the Africans. But what about the people who are posing as indigenous Americans, who are not indigenous Americans? Not just the native people, but the people who we call black, who are actually African like myself, who are claiming your legacy, your heritage, who are stealing your heritage. I feel about them the same way I do about the illegal settler colonialists who settle in Israel or South Africa, any other occupied state. King Jab, I know his lineage. I've actually researched his lineage. We've spoken about your lineage. I know your lineage. I know the reality, the facts behind that. Y'all not posing. But boy, shows a lot of black folks out there posing and want to conveniently be Indian when it's time to be African. When I say Indian, I mean indigenous American.
And I think a lot of that comes from them not knowing too, though, bro. I think some of them posing, but they is, again, they haven't took the time to research it themselves. So it's all based off of facts that were given to them.
It only take 100 years. I mean, the lifespan of a human, and this goes deep because I'm down these rabbit holes. I don't know. I know you know who Billy Carson is, right?
Most of them.
So, 120 years was supposed to be what was genetically modified for us a long, long time ago, right? That it was going to stop. That was supposed to be the how far we can go, right? So, I mean, how much do you really have to do to change history if that's your plan? Everybody that was around to tell you lying is gone every 100 years. Everybody who to tell you lying, no, that's a damn lie. I was there. Every 100 years that changed, right?
Wow.
You seen the Book of Eli?
Yeah.
That's a deep movie. You seen that movie?
I'm gonna watch it again, man. I think because
that's a deep movie,
I don't think
bro.
I watched it with my deeper eye. You know how you watch something for entertainment, then you go back and watch it for understanding.
That's saying so much. That movie's saying so much.
I'm gonna go back and watch it, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I give people the benefit of the doubt, man. And I know that my views are alternative to a lot of people's views. And I'm fine with that because I search for the truth, and I don't always claim to be right. That's why I say from my perspective, how I feel. I don't want nothing to be fact. You know what I mean? From what I'm saying. But just over the years, I would say from 2009 up until this day, I have been deeply searching for answers. Questions from here. I've called Donnie many a times. I text Donnie many a times because stuff that I thought I would want some clarity or a different view. What you think about this, bro? Like, what about this? And like last night, and maybe I want to ask you that too, because last night Rashe was saying like Negro. Like, what is the origin of that word? Is that a Spanish word or not?
Negro, okay, so if we can break it down, I try not to use the term Hispanic or Spanish. I only when I'm speaking about actual Spanish people are Hispanic. So the word Negro has come into the American lexicon because of the Spanish settler colonialism in the New World.
Okay,
right. But that concept Negro is a concept that comes more from slavery than it does from anything else. And let me tell you why. First things first, the word Negro comes from the Latin word neri. Neri comes from the Greek word, Negro comes from the Greek word necro. Necro means to die.
Wow.
So for someone's a necrophiliac, that's a person who they get turned on by dead bodies. Right. So Negro actually comes from the word necro because when Europeans, white-skinned Europeans, when they would die, they would turn black. So they called that word Negro. Okay. Comes from necro. But the concept of modern concept of Negro is a concept that comes from the slave, quote unquote, slave trade, the human trafficking and forced labor economy that comes from that concept. The first words used, and I bought some information just in case we want to cross-reference, but the first words used for a dark-skinned person in the New World was preta. In fact, if you speak Portuguese, the word for dark or for black, a black belt, is faixa preta. Preta. Preita is how we get the word pretty. The word pretty and the word black mean the exact same thing in Latin Romance language. The word Negro and the word nigger are both commodities to describe something. Like you may very generically call all jeans Levi's.
Right.
You know what I mean? You say, yeah, well, what you bought? Yeah, I bought a pair of Levi's. Or I bought a pair of Timbs. You might call all boots Timbs.
Right.
Right. But that's a product. Timberland is a brand name. Negro and nigger are both brand names. They're not related to the word negos at all. Negos is a JA's word meaning king. Negas meaning king. Negro and negos don't necessarily have the same root. One of them is a Latin word. The other one is a word from JA's, which is a Semitic language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
No problem. No problem.
And it's just all, once again, words are very important.
Absolutely.
Especially when you go into legalese and the language of lawyers and judges and court language, and you start realizing, when you saying person, it don't mean what you think. When you saying human, when you saying I just gave them I just last night gave them an example. When you're saying in court, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you good.
It just, things that you think mean something in legalese are definitely different. And then it doesn't matter until you're in court and you're dealing with it. Now, the jurisdiction over us is given to these people by us through contracts.
Absolutely.
Verbally, or, you know what I mean? They come up to your window. You understand you were speeding. Understand mean you're agreeing to go in a contract with me. You're agreeing to be under my jurisdiction, right? But that's why the lawyer tell you, don't say nothing.
Exactly.
Don't answer no questions. They're not explaining it that deeply to you. They're not going into legalese to tell you why not to answer no questions. But that's why. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that we do in regular life, that's what we doing. So it's really a foreign thing when we get mad. Oh, he pulled me over for nothing. Man, that's they tag, bro. Ain't your tag registered to the state? Come on. Why they can't pull over they car? They tag that's registered to them. right? So anytime you fill out for a license, you're giving up rights.
Absolutely.
You're agreeing to be under their jurisdiction, under their rules, because you're applying for a license. And most things that you need a license for are stuff that you don't need a license for.
And
I'm going to say that again.
Your signature on there.
I'm going to say that again. Most things that you apply for a license for, you don't need a license for. It's deep, bro. I mean, I wish we had hours.
So we hit right on the 9:57, man. That's crazy that I'm listening to you guys, and something I didn't really throw out there on the podcast the other morning, like what people don't really know about me is I actually sued the federal government while I was a federal inmate.
Yeah.
And I completed a full civil lawsuit, filed all my motions, and I won.
That's what's up.
Put my check in my account.
That's right.
So King Donald was right when he said you've been holding out on us, Jeff.
I've been holding out because I filed every motion, and I could have really cashed in, but they kind of broke me with the diesel therapy, and I didn't want to go from Miami back up to New Jersey, then go through a courtroom trial and all of that. But man, I'm glad you're here because it's something that we show our community that other people, I mean, that I'm glad people latch on to, that it's some dudes that you see in the hood that are really, 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 really sharp. You know what I mean? Like we smart men. We smart on completely different aspects and levels, but we are highly intelligent about the things that we choose to be highly intelligent about. And I think this is inspiring. It should be inspiring to a lot of our kids, a lot of our women, just our community in general. You know what I mean? I deal with a lot of athletes, but I swear to God, I understand all our kids not athletes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't great athletic. I was more of a scholar. You know what I mean? So, in final word, you got a final word, Brother Donnie? You want to go first? Let Dreese get ready? Or
expand your gangster. You know that's what it's going to be, King Jab. Expand your gangster. Take your gangster from one level to another. Everybody got gangster in them. Expand your gangster, big brothers. Do not do the same thing expecting different results. Expand that gangster.
Yes, sir. My final word would be, we speaking on smarts and intelligence. To me, the most smartest person understands the famous quote, the man that knows something knows he knows nothing at all. And if you have no humility and you have no ability to feel like you can be wrong or you may be mistaken, to me, you're not truly smart.
Right on.
That's oof. I can't be around.
Too dumb to know that.
You too dumb to know you don't know nothing. Hey, boy, I might just leave that alone. But I'm gonna say shout out to the New Image Project. Shout out to us, man. All of our local podcasts, the Plug Report, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Anybody that I'm missing, I'm not naming. I apologize, but y'all got to realize we have to seize this opportunity to be in control of our own media, and that's what we're doing right here, man. So shout out to the media, man. Y'all support, and thank y'all, man. We out.
Yes, sir.
Ready.
That was great, gentlemen. Thank y'all.
Dams.
Gospel lovers, are you ready for some church? The Angels Gospel Show is back with a bang. Bringing to you gospel with live interviews, scriptures, inspirational topics, inspirational events.